Well, hello. Just going to check the audio levels. Don't mind me. Okay, just ignore if the audio repeats there. Exactly. Who needs to sleep when you've got streaming? Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Discord server up here, so we'll be able to chat in the Discord server. You can ask questions there. I'll keep the stream chat open as well, but I might not be able to look at it as often. Excellent, no echo, that's good. Alright, so let's have a look at what I'm working on today before we jump into the Q&A sort of stuff. I need to look at the caves. Because what I'm working on right now is fixing some issues with the caves, because we've got a bunch of leaves in the caves from when we did all the bushes. Some of the caves don't connect at some points. There's also sand and gravel all throughout the caves, etc, etc. Nick Radical asks, where am I located on the MMO? Well, these are my exact coordinates, if that answers your question. I hope it does. Yeah, Nick Radical, come TP to us. Say hi. Oh, is my TP disabled? Oh no, there you are. Hello. What do you want to say? Actually, what I might do is I'll join the Arcaena voice chat, so people can come in and have a chat if you'd like. So I'm currently on the Arcaena Discord server. Send a link in the YouTube stream chat. I'll just send another one quickly. Here you go, come join us here. Ask any questions you want to ask. Join us in the... Hello, Nick Radical, are you there? Hello. And if everyone on the stream, can you hear Nick Radical? Just want to make sure that the Discord server is working. Griffin Girl asks, what's the IP? The IP is play.mcalagaesia.com. However, you can't connect to the Arcaena or like the staff build server at the moment because we're still building the map. The reason you can't hear her is because she's not talking at the moment. Bibbidi bobbidi boop. Did you hear that? Let us know. My desktop audio was broken. Okay. And can you hear her now?
Test 1, 2, 3. Diggy diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
Ah, fantastic. See, that's what I really wanted to check. That's kind of the reason why I'm doing a test stream. But I thought I'd do some building or some work on MCAlagaesia at the same time. So, I guess we should jump right into it. So, yeah, so if you have any questions, you want to talk about Arcaena, you want to talk about MCAlagaesia, jump onto the Discord server. I sent a link in the YouTube chat. Jump into the voice chat, or you can just talk straight on the Arcaena channel. The chat will pop up here. If you have any questions, just ask them and we'll do our best to answer. So, as I said before, what I'm doing is fixing some issues in the cave. So, I mean, it's not the most interesting thing to look at, but hopefully we can chat about some more interesting things. Christix asks, how much time left to release? Why'd you have to start with that question? I don't know, but hopefully we'll be releasing this year. That's what we're aiming for. I mean, the map is about 95% done, but of course, you know, the last few things are going to take a lot longer than building giant cities. We just have to put tiny details and everything, so it's a bit tedious, but we just want to make the best possible, most immersive map that we can. And then of course, we've also got our developer team, Alex and Jo. They're working on a huge amount of code. When we originally started this project, we were just going to have a few plugins that add some features, but we just keep increasing the scope of the project, and now we've got a custom client, got mods, plugins, our own authentication server. It's pretty big now, and we're even modifying Digit itself so we can hopefully have a lot higher number of players being able to join. So that'll be good. JD asks, hey 99, would MCAlagaesia have a story? If so, what is it? Well, what we're trying to do is allow you to kind of create your own story. It's like an MMORPG, so you'll be role playing in the world and you'll be able to create your own story. So we're not really going to force you to follow any specific path. And in fact, some of the locations, such as Carver Hall, so as you'll see, Carver Hall is not in a ruined state. So it's obviously not post-inheritance, where it was destroyed. Or if we walk to Urbane, we haven't actually finished building it yet, but Urbane is going to be post Galbatorix's reign, but it's not going to be destroyed. So we'll have the green spires, we'll have the human elements of the city as it was described in the inheritance cycle, but it's not going to be blown up. However, if we go to Rowengard, for example, Dora Areva is in a ruined state. So we haven't actually like rebuilt it to its former glory. So some things are from all over, different time zones. So there's not really a story as such, except for the ones that you create for yourself. Griffin Girl, those mountains are gigantic. They're as tall as we could make them. I wish that we had a higher height limit in Minecraft. But I mean, they're pretty good. Usually out of render distance, actually. You know what? You know what I might do? I'll launch Minecraft with shaders if we're going to walk around. Maybe I won't do much building. I'll just fly around, show you some locations as we chat. Alright, so launching Minecraft with shaders. In the meantime, I'll answer some more questions. Christopher says, I have a question. Where do you get all the money to fund this project? It would cost thousands, and I'm quite curious. Well, you're right. It does cost thousands. I think server hosting, I could just check. Server hosting right now, it's going to check how much it costs. But yeah, we have spent thousands on the server, but no, we don't get any funding for it. I mean, we have had a few donations, which we really appreciate through the server website. That helps us, you know, keep hosting for the next month or so. But most of it comes out of my own pocket. And hopefully once we've released, we'll be able to... what? Where's my shaders? Where's my Optifine at? Hopefully once we've released, we'll be able to support the server with donations that come in.
Hey, welcome.
Hello, who's that? Oh, it's Nick Radical.
Talking?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you just streamed earlier today. How was that?
That was fun. Oh, I can hear myself in your stream, by the way.
Oh, I don't know how to fix that.
No, in a good way.
Oh,
Because you couldn't
okay.
hear me before.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah, tons of fun, but I mean, this mountain, man. I'm excited though.
Yeah, so am I. It's gonna be great. Okay, so we currently have two servers. One of them costs $59.99 US a month, and the other costs $68.79 US a month. And we are nowhere near utilizing them to their full extent, but we will eventually, so there's no point downgrading just to upgrade later. And even though, you know, I don't like throwing away money, I can afford it, so it's alright. Okay, this should be Optifine. Launching the game. Let me scroll up and look at these questions again. So I hope I answered your question, Christix. Alright, well, while that's coming up, let's answer some more questions. New article, I don't wish we had a higher height limit. Yeah, all the terraformers would not want a higher height limit because then there'd be a lot more work. But you know, it's cool to think about. Puppy Eyes God says, will the new Riders base ever be added? Yes, we will expand out to the east. Probably not in the first release because that'll delay our release a long time. But eventually we'll add the new Rider base that was mentioned in The Fork, the Witch and the Worm. Shadow says, oh yeah, Shadow's just explaining that. Christix asks, where did all of this motivation come from to start a server dedicated to some books? Well, I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was 2012, so I can't really say. But you know, we just my brother and I, Title Screw, we read the books and we really enjoyed them. So we decided we should pay homage to them in a way. We'd been playing a game called Mindsy on the Shotbow network, and we wanted to create something similar, like a open world, massively multiplayer online game in Minecraft. Thought it was really cool, and that's where this all began, and it's kind of grown a lot more than we ever thought. Keep the questions coming. I can only answer what comes in, and I'm trying to get faders working at the moment. Tell you what, I might just restart my computer and I'll start streaming once we get back in.
I'll wait until you have your stream up before I answer my version of Christix's question.
Okay. I mean, I did click start stream, so don't know where it is yet. There it is.
I can't believe you mentioned me for something that is worth mentioning for.
I'm so sorry. Alright, and we have shaders.
I'll also have I'll have all of the chats up on my screen too, so.
Fantastic. I thought you had to go to sleep.
I did, but you decided to stream, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna get any sleep anyways, might as well be productive.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah, keep asking your questions. Don't forget to join the MCAlagaesia Discord server so you can talk about Arcaena, talk about MCAlagaesia. I'll send another link. Before we jump into the questions, would you like to suggest a location for me to fly around while we talk?
Children.
Okay.
I'm just
Sorry about that loud Java update. Okay, so we've walked to Trondheim. So this is currently an incomplete location, however we are working on it, and pretty impressive so far, if I do say so myself. Alright, so Christix asks, how many players do you think will be dedicating their hours into Arcaena? And why did you make the launcher free with the accounts instead of making it $5 to $15? Start with the first question. How many players? That's another hard question. I honestly have no idea. The bot's posting another video. Let's get rid of that. Don't want to spam people too much. Okay. How many players do you think will be dedicating their hours? We have no idea at the moment. But if the number of Twitter followers, number of people on Discord, number of YouTube subscribers, the number of people on the vanilla server is anything to go by, I'd say it's going to be pretty popular. And also not to mention the fact that since we have our own authentication server, it's going to be open to a lot more people than just people who play Minecraft. So there could be thousands of Inheritance Cycle fans that are going to jump onto this game. As for your second question, I think Plus Wario answered it pretty well. We can't sell Minecraft. We can't sell our own launcher. What we can do is sell cosmetic perks in the store, but selling our own launcher would probably get us into a lot of trouble, which is why our launcher is going to be free. The game is free to play, but to support us there will be other options such as colourful magic or certain honorifics like Elder or Vor or any of the other elven suffixes or prefixes that you hear about in the Inheritance Cycle. Alright, so let's have a look at Trondheim. Okay, it's currently just a wool plan. We usually do these for all our cities. Make sure that we're all on the same page. We all know what the design looks like. This is based on the descriptions we find in the books. And of course there's going to be other things in here. It's not just going to be empty. But these are the 4 cardinal directions, and the spiral staircase that goes up to multiple floors. So here we have a bit of a more finished design. We have separate rooms all separated out, and a couple of corridors. There's like rooms at the back, there's rooms in the middle, and rooms in the center. Or I should say this is the center, that's the outside, so you could call that the back, or you could call that the back. Hard to decide what side is a side in a circle, so maybe I should stop talking about sides altogether. We've got the center of the circle and the outer edge of the circle, and we've got a kind of ring in the middle. Britzinger says, "Hi, I'm interested for your project. I love Aragon's books, but I'm French, so it is difficult to understand what you say. So in the launcher there are other languages in the launcher. I don't think that's planned at the moment, just because we're not a developer studio. We don't really have the resources to do all these translations for hundreds of books or quests in the game. But eventually, if the community can do the translation for us, we would love to have other translations in the game." Kingstell asks, "Can players be dragon riders, or will there be a mechanic that chooses certain people?" So yes, anyone can be a dragon rider, but what that involves is you would have to complete the Vault of Souls dungeon over here on Rowengard, which is not going to be easy. And even once you've completed the dungeon and you've got a dragon egg, it only has a certain chance of hatching for you. However, if you're the one that's completed the dungeon, there'll be a higher chance for it to hatch for you, and for any person who touches the dragon egg after you, there'll be a smaller and smaller chance for it to hatch. So if you complete the dungeon, you'll have the greatest chance of it hatching for you. What were my thoughts when I started this entire project in 2012? Honestly, I thought we'd be done in 2013. I did not realize it would take this long. Yeah, that was pretty naive.
How long it took me to get here.
Yeah, it's taken a lot longer than I thought, but I think the end product is a lot bigger and better than I thought as well. So it's definitely worth the wait, even though it's been so many years. Before we go into the next question, would you like to check out another location? Shout it out in chat. Or TM, let's have a look at TM. Alright, Kingstell asks, "Would you have to do the dungeon again if the egg doesn't hatch?" Yes, you could either do the dungeon again, or you could find another egg that someone else has already rescued from the dungeon. So I'm assuming people will trade these around. If they don't hatch, they'll give them to someone else and see if it'll hatch. And if not, they'll just keep passing it on.
Hot potato, hot potato.
Exactly. Stony Biosphere asks, "Where is Alagaesia?" On some fantasy planet, I'd assume.
I think we're keeping up with the Jeopardy theme of answering the question with the question.
Christix asks, "Will there be wiping? Because when most people get everything, it gets boring quickly." That's the thing, it's going to be hard to get everything. Like, I don't even think many people will be dragon riders, even though it is possible for anyone to become a dragon rider. So I don't think people would like it very much if they became a dragon rider and then a week later we did a wipe. There probably won't be any wipes. There may be a couple early on, just when we're working out balancing issues and adding new features, but eventually we'd like to not wipe all the progress. Instead, we will have a properly balanced game. Hopefully nothing will be too easy to get, but not too hard as well for the low tier stuff, so you can get started easily. Christix asks, "Also, can you talk about the combat system in Arcaena?" So the combat system is going to be the same as the post Minecraft 1.8 system. So it takes a bit more skill than just blindly hitting someone. But then, of course, there's also going to be magic spells that you can use in PvP as well. If you're concerned about there being too much PvP or everyone trying to attack you, we're also going to try to discourage that. So I said the post 1.8 combat system, so that would mean the 1.9 combat system. Yes, if you're concerned about people killing you all the time, there's going to be a lot of systems in place to discourage PvP and encourage teamwork. Kingstow asks, is there going to be strict PvP areas or will PvP be everywhere? PvP will be allowed everywhere, but as I said before, there's going to be measures in place to discourage just randomly attacking people. You won't get any benefit for going on a murder spree, but you would get a benefit for defending yourself, for example. Shadow asks, how do you use the magic in a fight? By magic. I don't have the full answer to that yet, but we do have a client-side mod now rather than just server-side plugins. So we'll be able to add hotkeys, for example, or make a fancy gesture system. Or perhaps, if you have a microphone, we might even be able to do speech recognition, so you can shout the spells and then it'll come out in-game. That'll all depend on, how the development goes.
That would be so cool. I can just imagine myself screaming into my mic, Bersinger! Bersinger! No, Bersinger! No, no!
I think it'd be pretty cool if we were able to do that. So, yeah, all cool ideas. Looking forward to it.
Where's Hale? Please, where's Hale?
Kingstail asks, can you talk about the true name mechanic? I can. The game will collect statistics and facts about how you play as you play the game. So all the achievements you get, all the locations you visit, the number of people you kill, the number of people you heal, and from that it will generate words in the ancient language that describe you. And when you get to the Vault of Souls, once you're through the dungeon, you have to think, how have I played the game? Have I healed and helped a lot of people? And if you have, you might choose healer as part of your name. If you've killed a lot of people, you might choose bandit as part of your name. You'll get this GUI and you'll have a list of items with names, and you have to figure out the 5 words that describe you in no particular order. So it doesn't matter if you put it in that way or if you put it in that way, but you'll pick those 5 words that most describe you, and if you get it correct, then you'll be able to enter the Vault of Souls. And of course you can try multiple times. It's, kind of trial and error, but it'll help. It'll be a lot faster if you think about how you've played the game and who you are as a character in Arcaena. Okay, so I just talked about the true name mechanic. Then Jet Fuel asks, will there be an infamy system, so like something similar to what exists in Fallout 3, for people that don't kill others too often? That's kind of the idea, yeah. So, of course, as I said before, killing a lot of people will influence your true name, or helping a lot of people will influence your true name. But then, of course, there's also the other measures I talked about before, like discouraging excess PvP, and the infamy system will kind of play into that as well. But I haven't played Fallout 3, so I don't know too much about how that works. Shadow asks, can you create new items? I think you mean, can we create new items that don't exist in vanilla Minecraft? If that's the case, yes, we can. we've moved on from the idea of plugins on the server side which can't add items, and we've moved towards our own custom client which we can install mods on, and these mods will allow us to add new items into the game. Christix asks, will you be recruiting translators in your team? Eventually we would like to hopefully translate all the books and lore in the game, but there's going to be a lot of it, so we don't want to do a half-assed job. So eventually we will. Exists asks, so this is pretty cool, but why and how? We actually have an old video on that, so I'll just send that to you. Or maybe we can even watch it together. Let me just bring it up. Need any help? I'm not actually doing anything at the moment, so just keep working on whatever you want to work on. I'm just flying around, showing off some locations. You sent a message saying, Alex Rosenberger asks, you became a character, you become a character from the books, or a character we make ourselves. So if you became a character in the books, there probably wouldn't be enough characters, unfortunately. So yeah, it'll be a character you create yourself. Whether that is similar to a character in the books or entirely your own is up to you.
That was from your stream.
Oh, okay. I haven't been looking at the stream chat. I've only been looking at Discord.
I got you, fam.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ice Quattro Gamer asks, when will I be able to submit a skin? So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about there, we've got a website that I've just sent in chat, arcaena.com/skins. Basically, you'll be able to design your own skin for Arcaena. Alright, next question. Is anyone allowed to join the voice chat? Yes, you're welcome to join, and feel free to unmute your microphone, have a chat with us. You don't have to type all your questions, you're free to shout them out to us with your voices as well. Griffin Girl asks, and all this is going to be in Minecraft. I don't know much about this, but obviously I'm very curious now. I missed a question here as well, I'll go back to that. Yeah, everything will be in Minecraft. I don't know what else to say for that, but yeah, it'll all be in Minecraft. We're just adding extra features on top of that. Nai asks, when TM was described in the books, I'll just walk to TM for this. When TM was described in the books, I thought it was described to be a city with each layer of buildings being built progressively higher in height, so the archers could be lined on the rooftops and not shoot each other. You are completely correct. The issue in Minecraft is the amount of space we have to work with. So rather than building up from the edges of the city to the center, we built up from the edges of the city, lower buildings, medium buildings. We built up from the edge to the back. That's just due to the space limits that we have. However, Tiam is a pretty old city in terms of MCAlagaesia. It was one of the first ones that we built. So it will be one of the first ones that we redo, and we probably will try and make it a bit closer to the original description in the book when we do that. Alright, and the next question we have is, will there be a party system so you can do things with your friends? A party system in terms of what? You'll definitely be able to meet up with your friends and do things with them. You'll be able to message them across the map. Yeah, you'll be able to do the same things with your friends as you can do with anyone else. If you have a dragon, you'll be able to let certain people talk to your dragon. Because we have a dragon chat AI is one of the features that we're thinking of implementing. So how you and how others you allow talk to your dragon will affect how your dragon's personality develops. It's a possible feature, so it might not happen. It's a pretty big, making an AI chatbot is a pretty big task on top of all the other features that we have to make for Arcaena. But if we could do that, that'll be an extra thing that could, if you wanted to, only allow your friends to talk to your dragon. Next question. I answered that one. Anyone is allowed in the voice chat. Feel free to come in and chat with us. Kingstow asks, will any characters from the books be talked about or put as NPCs in the game? They probably won't be put in as NPCs, but you will be able to find references to them. So you might find a book or a scroll or a quest that talks about Aragon or Brom or Saphira or any of the other characters that you know and love from the books. When you go to the website, I'm sorry, I know what that is. Yeah, I didn't have a microphone on the website. So nothing I've been saying on the website has been going through. I'll just quickly add one now.
It was kind of funny because whenever you were trying to explain something about the website, you just couldn't even hear you anymore.
Why did no one say? Alright, I'll add one now. Just be 2 seconds. Testing. Alright. Is there anything on the website you wanted me to go through again? Let's quickly go through the skins again. Skins in Arcaena are 128 by 128 pixels rather than the default Minecraft 64 by 64. The missions aren't open at the moment because we still need to put in the back end for the server to accept your uploads. But once we do, we'll let you know and you'll be able to upload as many skins as you want. So there's no need to just create one and then wait ages for us to set it up. You can create as many as you like, just keep them on a folder on your desktop or something, and we'll let you know when we open up the missions and you can upload them all here. Alright, and back to Minecraft. Alright, let's continue on with more questions. The Doge admin asks, how do you get a dragon? We answered this a little bit earlier on in the stream, but we can just quickly go through it again. I'll just walk to Gorareba. So basically, all you have to do, and I'm not saying this is easy, but all you have to do is complete the dungeon in the Vault of Souls. And of course, that'll involve figuring out your true name. And once you've done that, you'll get a dragon egg. And the dragon egg has a certain chance of hatching for you. If it doesn't hatch for you, you could give it to someone else, it might hatch for them, and so on and so on. But it'll have the highest chance of hatching for the person who won it from the Vault of Souls. So yeah, there'll definitely be incentive for you to complete the Vault of Souls dungeon. I'm gonna drink some milk. Probably very annoying to watch all those particle effects.
You can turn off the particles in the options.
I could have done that as well, but I don't need night vision at the moment, so that's fine.
Okay.
Kingstow asks, as part of the party system, I mean like clans or guilds similar to what the dwarves had. No plans at the moment, probably because it's only something that's specific to the dwarves, not really as much humans and elves, but you will be able to, when you create a character, you'll be able to choose a race and other features of your character as well. So we'll be able to belong to some certain class or race, but there's probably not a party system for friends as such, because it's not really necessary. If you disagree, let me know what kind of features you'd like in a party system for friends, like maybe chat over long distances. However, we do have a spell for that. It's called scrying, so we might not want to mess that up with a free feature, but instead allow you to use scrying to talk to people over long distances. The Doge admin says, when you say aye, do you mean the dragons will learn, or are you just talking about a chatbot? Yeah, the dragons will start out with a basic AI, or your dragon start out with a basic AI, and as you talk to it, as other people talk to it, it will learn from that, and it'll learn a unique personality. So your dragon will be different to anyone else's. And as I said before, that's just an idea that we have to implement. Of course, creating your own chatbot AI is a pretty big undertaking. So it might not be in the first version of Arcaena. It might not even make it at all. But I think it's a pretty cool thing to do, so we're pretty hopeful about implementing that. Nye asks, could you TP to the spine if you have built it at all yet? Well, have a look at the spine then. This is the spine here. We've actually world painted the entire thing, so there's nothing left to build in terms of the terraforming, except for maybe a couple of, fixes here and there. Yeah, the mountains themselves are all done. They even have caves inside them, if we ever want to use those for anything. But in terms of actual locations in the spine, like Carver Hall, for example, I think every location in the spine is actually complete. So the spine was one of the first areas on the map that we finished. Nick Radical says, will there be clans or gangs or guilds? We kind of went into this a bit with races, parties and such. I don't think there's any elaborate plans for that at the moment, but there will be races such as the elves, dwarves, urgles, humans that you can become a part of when you create your character. Oh, I kind of get what you're talking about. There is something like this. I'll just bring that up. Alright, let's have a look at the website again. Down here we have this feature called Strongholds. Your place in Alagaesia. Strongholds, so you would create a party with your friends to join a stronghold or create a stronghold. What you do is collect resources from the MCAlagaesia world, the world of Alagaesia. You bring that into your stronghold, and you can use those resources to build a village or even a city if you get enough people. And you could have battles with other strongholds. Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature, still in its infancy, but definitely that would play into the clans and the guilds and the things that you could create. So you can make a dwarven stronghold or an elven stronghold, depending on the kind of people that you let join. And of course, if you wanted to play as a dwarf but still join an elven stronghold, you could do that. But yeah, I think it'll be a pretty cool feature. Let's jump back into the game and on to the next question. Will races have direct correlation with your character, as in elves being inherently stronger, magic and physically than humans? Well, the thing is, elves are really unbalanced. So if elves did have higher stats, then everyone would become an elf and no one would become a human. And that's the issue that we're trying to work out. How do we balance the races? So I think that we should have different stats for different races. However, like maybe elves should be lower in health but higher in strength, because their bodies are physically it's hard to explain, because elves are so much better than all the other races. So how do we make them less good in some ways? It's really hard. So I think we will have some sort of different stats for different races, but it's going to be hard to balance that. So it's something that we're going to have to work on. Buffs and debuffs for different races. We kind of discussed that here. Will dragons be randomly customized, or do you choose? Well, Aragon didn't choose Spirit's car, but of course, this is a game, and you should be able to choose what your dragon looks like after all the effort you go to getting one. So, sure, I think you should be able to choose your dragon color. And since we're using mods now, you will be able to keep the same dragon color, and other players will be able to see that your dragon is red or gold or whatever color it happens to be. Is the end and the nether just being removed? A technical question. Yes, the end and the nether just don't exist, but we do have other worlds within Arcaena, such as the Stronghold worlds, where you can build strongholds with your friends. So the same kind of back-end mechanics are there, but the nether and the end as you know them won't exist. Is there an option for building a stronghold together? Yeah, that's the whole idea of strongholds, actually. So you'd join up with some friends, you'd make a stronghold with them, and we might even have leaderboards. You can compete with other strongholds if that's the kind of thing you're interested in. I have to confess, I'm not sure what that is. I'm just going to Google it. Oh yeah, of course. It's possible. There's nothing in Minecraft that acts like that. So, if anyone else doesn't know what they are, those are the spikes that you get drilled into your knuckles. The dwarves usually have. That could be a good buff for dwarves to have just as default. If that's something that you guys are willing to go for. But in terms of an actual item that you put on your hands, there's nothing in Minecraft that simulates that kind of behavior, so it would have to be completely built from scratch.
Well, you could make it over the strength portion.
A strength potion gives you, like, it's a different sort of buff.
Okay.
Where are we up to? Can we tame cows? You'll be able to find cows and other animals in farms. If you find a leash, you'll be able to bring them along with you. But as for taming them, it's not something that we have planned. It's not in vanilla Minecraft, and since it doesn't really hold any importance in the inheritance cycle, there's not really any reason to add it at the moment. This is probably in terms of strongholds. Can you build the houses, or are they pre-created houses? So the stronghold houses will be pre-created, and you get to choose what style they're in, and you get to choose where to place them, and we'll have hundreds of thousands of different combinations for you. How to explain the different worlds as part of the RP element, teleporting to another world. So your stronghold will be in a specific location. Let's say your stronghold is here, but we don't want people to actually build giant cities right on this location, because that's not a canon location in Alagaesia. What will happen instead is that you'll just come to this location, and if you want to go to the stronghold, you just warp to the stronghold in a different world. And that just keeps everything nice and self-contained. It makes sure that the actual map of Alagaesia doesn't get changed into something that's not Alagaesia, but it still lets you create your own place in Alagaesia. The Doge admin asks, are there Eldunari to boost the power of a rider? We do plan to have Eldunari. Anyone can use them to supplement their energy reserves. However, the Eldunari will have a chatbot AI in the same way that a dragon has a chatbot AI. And the Eldunari can refuse to give you energy if they don't like you. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get on the good side of that AI. So that plays in again to how you talk with it, how you treat it, and what its personality is like. If it doesn't like people, it might never lend you energy. But if it's really generous and you haven't done anything mean to it, then it's probably definitely going to let you cast amazing magic spells. 3747 says, will shaders be in the launcher as a toggle, or will we need to have our own? The thing with Optifine for running shaders is that the creator of Optifine has made it clear that you are not allowed to distribute Optifine in a mod pack. So we can't have the Optifine mod pre-installed on the Arcaena client. We could have our own shader renderer, or we could use another one if there is any others. I haven't done any research on that, but we could use another that someone allows you to use. But as far as I know, there won't be shaders by default, but you should be able to install them yourself. The Doge admin says, can you become a shade if you're not careful, or are they just enemies for you to find? That's a separate question. Okay. So yeah, shades are currently just enemies that you can find. Very powerful enemies, but they are just enemies. So you won't be able to become a shade by casting spells that are too powerful for you. You'll just die, which is nice. Puffed. If you are stronger than the Eldunari, if you have more energy than it, you would be able to force it into submission and then use all its reserves. Yep. As I said, you probably will be able to break them. It might end up being easier to be nice to them, but see how that plays out. Interesting thing to say. Say you're wanting to be a member of the next generation of the Forsworn, and you find an Eldunari with a bad attitude. I mean, if its goals and your goals align in some way, it might be more willing to give you energy. But if you have an evil personality as determined by the game, say you kill a lot of people, or you use kind of dark magic spells a lot, and the Eldunari is twisted as well, then you would find it easier to get it to give you energy. Will the chatbot AI be open source? That could be an easy way to get it working well. Currently everything's in-house and we're doing all our own development, so we'll just have to see when that time comes. Shades are really rare in in-game in inheritance cycle lore, so will that be the same in-game? Shades will probably be orders of magnitude more common in the game than in the inheritance cycle, because as you know, there's like 0 to 1 shades in existence at any one time in the inheritance cycle. Maybe we'd say there's 10 shades in Arcaena spread out across the map, so they will be rare to find them. Possibly you could play the entire game and never see a shade, but they will be more common than the inheritance cycle makes them out to be.
So is the way that you set this up like you would set up a Minecraft adventure game?
Yeah, kinda. So you will be in a sort of adventure mode style game mode, so you won't be able to break any grass or wood here. If you have an axe, for example, you would be able to cut down trees, and you can use that wood to build your strongholds, but eventually the tree will grow back and it'll be exactly the same as it was before. So the map itself you can never permanently damage. Speaking of damage, let's say if you converted all your matter into energy, you would make an explosion and you would leave a crater, but that would also regenerate over time back to the normal state. If I exploded myself right here, these buildings nearby would return to their original state over time. We don't want the entire map to just be a big crater after like 3 months of everyone playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes it a lot easier for the map builders because you don't have to repair something every time someone decides to go grief something.
Yeah, there won't be any need for that. We kind of want to save the builders so they can work on improving cities, such as I mentioned before, TM is one of the oldest cities we have here, and it doesn't really follow the description in the book. So this will be one of the first locations that we rebuild, try and make it a bit closer to the description in the inheritance cycle. Kingstel says, will anything happen to someone's dragon if they die? So what we have in Arcaena is a soft death model. So when you die in the game, your character isn't dead, but you do lose all your items, and you get teleported back to a low tier town. But you do keep your dragon, you do keep soulbound items, you do keep any progress towards researching magic. It does take a long time to research magic, and as Rainbow just said down here, you will die often, so we kind of don't want to make it too hard for you, because in the early days you will die a lot. Urgles running around, you might find a shade, someone else might kill you. So yeah, if you die, your dragon will still exist. We're probably going to make it so that there's a cooldown. You won't be able to immediately spawn your dragon back in and fly off some high tier location to gear up. You might have to wait a couple of hours before your dragon comes back. Can you kill other riders' dragons for an Eldunari, and will their dragon be gone forever? So that's another interesting thing. I haven't actually thought about that. Perhaps we could discuss something now. Maybe you can kill another rider's dragon and you do get an Eldunari, but then once they die, their dragon will come back. But that could be an issue. People could dupe Eldunari if you become a rider. You and your friend can just team up. Friend can just kill your dragon, get an Eldunari. You can respawn. Wait an hour, couple of hours for the dragon to come back. Your friend kills the dragon. You get another Eldunari. Friend dies, respawns. Wait a few hours for the dragon to come back. Your friend kills the dragon. Get an Eldunari. Your friend dies. Wait, etc. Yeah, I won't go into a loop there, but you could potentially exploit that to get infinite Eldunari. So either the dragon would be permanently dead, or we don't offer Eldunari. But there's pros and cons either way. It would be pretty cool if there was a linear single play story, but MMOs are cool too. Yeah, that was the idea from the start, has been that this would be an MMORPG that you'd play with other people. But we don't really have plans for any single player spin-offs at the moment. Will there be any PvP server events? Yes, there will. We'll have an event server separate from the Arcaena server, where you can come on and join events without damaging your actual character. And sometimes there'll be events on the actual Arcaena server as well, like Easter egg hunts, PvP events that you can join in, maybe like a whole server war sort of thing. It's all things that we can figure out, but there'll definitely be events for you to be able to join. The Soviet Aragon says, hold up, dragons are finally in? No, I'm sorry. Dragons are not in the game yet. We're still building. on this map here. So there's actually no features. There's no plugins or mods on this map. This is just where we build the map. And in terms of development, that's happening over on another network entirely. That's why we have two servers. We've got one development server that we're building all sorts of network infrastructure like authentication servers, websites, Minecraft servers, proxies, and that'll all work together on a separate network. We've got the MCAlagaesia network, which is the one that I'm on right now, and we've got the Arcaena network, which once we release, that'll be what you join through the Arcaena launcher. Fredo says, will we redo the whole map when 1.14 or future releases are put into the game? Well, as you'll remember, when we went from 1.12 to 1.13, we did not redo the map. And when we went from 1.11 to 1.12, we also did not redo the map. If we tried to redo the map every time a new update came out, we would be years and years away from release. So we will not redo the map, we'll just add in any new blocks or items that we see fit. Can you go for Sworn style, and can there be a player that can take over Alagaesia? Theoretically, if you had enough friends that were working with you to become the next Galbatorix dictator oppressor, you could. But there won't be systems in place to help you do that, but there won't be too much that will stop you if you play it right. And yeah, I'd assume that there'd be a lot of people willing to play the hero and knock you off your throne, so you'd have to be very careful trying to do that. As I said, no, you can't get a dragon right now. We're still in development. This is just the build map. Even if you could heal your dragon to bring it back to life, that would still be the issue of duplicating Eldunari. So I think the idea here is that dragons don't die, only you, the character that's playing the game, can die. And when you die, you just have to wait a few hours for your dragon to come back. You just keep asking the same question. Don't worry, I will get to, I do get to your questions. You don't need to keep asking them multiple times. Do dragons get bigger in size as they get older and more powerful? Yes, they will. Now that we have mods and a client of our own rather than just plugins, we'll be able to have custom models, and the dragons can grow as they age. Will water walking boots be available as a spell? We could probably do that as a spell. Probably won't have the boots item itself, but you'll be able to cast a spell that can do that. We just have to figure out what words in the ancient language will allow you to do that. Yes, I answered that one. No need to keep asking. A few people have suggested that. It's a pretty interesting idea. I've answered that. Don't keep asking. Will dragons have abilities? As I was talking about before, you can chat with your dragon using the dragon chat AI. Your dragon will give you more energy. But the main perks of being a rider are, you know, the dragon itself, being able to fly around on the dragon, your rider sword. There's a lot of kind of OP things about being a dragon rider. So dragons won't have any specific abilities themselves, although they will be able to breathe fire, of course. Yeah.
So will you be putting out like a mod, or is it just going to be just with the whole making of it?
So will there be a mod, or will...
Like, are you going to be putting out all the mods that are going to be used in it, or how do you find those?
So you won't actually have to install any of the mods yourself. All you have to do is download the launcher from our website, and you just run that like you would the Minecraft launcher, you would log in with your Arcaena account. I think someone's got their audio on in Discord. Yeah, you'll just be able to run that launcher and play the game as easily as you would play Minecraft. So there's nothing you have to install yourself. And back in game, let's look at the next question. Will the source code be available for some mods? Only to the developers. So we currently have 2 developers, Alex the Coder and J.O. Evans. They're working on basically the entire Arcaena Java development side of things. Hopefully one day we'll be able to get a few more people working together with us. But for the time being, they're a great team. They're both very experienced and they've got great ideas that they're bringing to the game as well. So I'm really excited for what they're going to do. And of course, we've got Azza007. He's doing the system administration of all the network infrastructure and networking between the 2 networks. So he does all of that. I do a bit of both actually. I do server administration, the in-game administration, of course, in Minecraft itself. And I also have been known to develop plugins. However good they are is up for debate. But I mean, I am learning as well. I'm currently studying engineering and IT at university, and I'm actually doing a Java course right now. So yeah, I'm excited to test out some of my new skills with the developers, see if I can contribute anything as well. Will dragons be able to carry more than 1 person at a time? I'll confess, I had not thought of that, but that's a pretty cool idea. If you could, if your dragon could pick someone else up as well, someone that you allow to be on them, you could have multiple people flying around if your dragon is able to carry that weight. I have heard of the Shirticle mod. It is very old though. I don't think it's been updated for a while. But of course, as I said before, everything we do will be in-house. We'll be making our own versions of these features just so that we can integrate everything properly. Before I move on, let's move on to another location. How about we visit? Any suggestions?
I've never heard of that place.
That one? That one?
Come
That
on.
one? Where should we go? Oh, we should go to Dressleona. That's a pretty cool location. Alright, next question. Speaking of the Rider Sword, would that be a quest you have to go through in order to forge it? Yes, it'll be a quest. You have to go to Elismira and forge your sword yourself. In a similar way that Aragon did. So you have to find some bright steel, you have to forge the sword. It'll be kind of its own quest or mini game. And once you've made that sword, it'll be yours to keep forever. It'll be soulbound. And yeah, all riders will be able to do that quest. How will the ancient language work? If you speak it in chat, how will the game know your intentions, whether you're just trying to use magic or just speaking in it? Chat in game, as in that kind of chat, that won't trigger any magic spells. So you can talk as much as you like in game without any fear of accidentally causing magic to happen. The magic itself will be triggered by hotkeys or certain gestures with certain items, combinations of clicking, and will probably allow you to set those yourself. The other thing we were discussing earlier is if you have a microphone, we could possibly implement speech recognition, and you'd be able to just shout out the spells yourself, shout out the ancient words in the ancient language, and be able to cast spells that way.
That would be really cool, I have to admit.
Will rider swords be more powerful than normal steel swords? Yes, they will. They'll be rider swords. They won't burst into flame, of course. That was something specific to Brisinga. But it'll be the same color as your dragon, and it'll be stronger than, a regular sword. Ooh, I want to be a dragon taxi driver. It's a pretty cool idea. I know some people have been discussing all these business ideas they're going to implement in the MMO. I know Sherlock Shovel wants to be like a trader or something. I'll probably let him talk about it. Deldorad. Okay, we'll go visit that after we explore Drasleonia a bit more. Got the cathedral here. Go inside, have a look. Dojanmin says, I can't use a microphone. I don't want people in my house thinking I'm doing a ritual. So of course, it won't be compulsory to use a microphone. It'll just be, an extra, more immersive thing that you can do if you have the option. But otherwise, we'll still have all the hotkeys that you can assign yourself to cast magic spells. Will there be a currency system, or will players just use gold and diamond to trade? There will be a currency system. These textures have been updated, but you'll be able to use these gold and silver coins to buy things. Yeah, you can use them to trade with players as well. It's not just through like official traders that you can use them. I could give 10 of these to Nick Radical, and she gives me iron sword or something. For example, my taxi service costs 1 bread. Yeah, it's always up to you what you use to trade. I mean, you can just do a simple trade, like you trade this bread for this dragon egg. Whether that's a worthy trade is up to you. But if you want to trade a single piece of bread for a dragon egg, I mean, that'd be a pretty good deal.
Just hang out in the Hatterack Desert with like several bottles of water, and just be like, yeah, I will trade 1 egg for this water.
That is a pretty good business model, because someone could be very desperate when they're in the Hatterack Desert. No water anywhere. How will dragon feeding work? It won't. They'll just magically be fed all the time. No, I'm kidding, of course, but I hadn't actually thought about it. Perhaps they could eat livestock, for example, which will be around the map. You might have to buy a cow or a sheep or something, and then you can feed that to your dragon. So, there's upsides to being a dragon rider, but there's downsides as well, in the fact that you have to find a lot of food for your dragon. Can you jump someone and shank them for your gold? There's no one stopping you, except for maybe if someone decides to be a vigilante, or there's a police force that someone sets up. There'll be nothing about the game that stops you from doing that. But I'm sure that there might be people who take offense to that and try to police the server, so it's up to you to be careful who you shank.
You came to the wrong neighborhood.
Is there an experience or leveling system? So, in terms of magic, definitely. Game's getting a bit slow. I'll just reload all the chunks. Alright. Yeah, in terms of magic, you'll definitely be able to level that up. You'll be able to find books and scrolls and learn things. And once you've learned enough to use a certain spell, you'll be able to use that. You can level up the amount of health you have, the amount of energy you can store at any one time. Yeah, so there'll be a lot of things you can level up. I hear dragons can survive on nothing but single... That's funny. Yeah. Shouldn't there be a oasis in the Hatterack? I don't think we will put... there's probably some locations in there where you can get water, but we don't want many. It's meant to be hard across the Hatterack Desert. We're not trying to make it easy for you. There's a lot of things that are going to be easy, and in the same way there's going to be a lot of things that are hard, and you just have to deal with that. The map is rather large. It is very large. It's multiple times the size of Mindsy, Shotbow's Mindsy, which is another MMO that we originally sort of based MCAlagaesia off before we expanded into Arcaena. You will get dehydrated in the Hatterack Desert unless you're smart and bring water. Will the dragon be able to go where it wishes, or will it be around you in a certain radius? Depends how many dragons there are and how laggy that gets. But we should be able to have your dragon following you around, or if you want to send it off somewhere, it can go away, or whatever you want to do. Can you shank a dead dragon for its hide to make armor? Well, it depends if we even allow dragons to die. Aoberk asks in-game, what about Windcraft? Actually, I did send something in Discord a while ago. Let's just search. Okay, let's have a look at these pictures. The browser. So this is MCAlagaesia here. This is Mindsy. And I don't know if any of you ever played Mindsy, but this felt like a gigantic map. Like, it took like half an hour to get from Grimdale here down to Romero, which is about there or something. Like, it took, like, walking across this desert 15 minutes or something. Of course, the thing about Mindsy is that the slower you walk, the less noticeable you are to zombies. So I guess maybe because you would never sprint, that's why it would feel so long. But this is a huge map, and I've never actually, like, I've put hundreds of hours into Mindsy back in the day, and I've never explored all the locations. So yeah, and then you see how MCAlagaesia is 2.5 times longer, or 2.5 times wider, and maybe another 2.5 times, or 2.2 times as long. So MCAlagaesia is a lot bigger than Mindsy, which was already very big. And then here, I think this is Artcraft, but Artcraft is, I think it's a legitimate 1-to-1 scale recreation, whereas with MCAlagaesia, we decided not to go for that, because with Artcraft, of course, the mountains are not going to be the same scale, like the Y direction won't be the same scale as the X and Z. Whereas in MCAlagaesia, everything has been scaled in the same proportion. Let's jump back in game and check out. This is MC Middle Earth. So MC Middle Earth is about the same size as Artcraft. Alright, yeah, I don't think I ever did a comparison to the other map you were talking about. What was it? Westeros-craft? Or Windcraft? Yeah, I don't think I did a comparison to that one. I can't wait for Belgabad to be finished either. Let's walk back to Doru Araba. So we've already got a few dragon skeletons here, but these are tiny in comparison to this dragon skeleton I've planned out here. This is Belgabad. That's his tail there, winds around the buildings. Just a rough outline, winds around the buildings all the way up to his head, which is kind of resting on this pillar of a mountain here. And yeah, I can't wait to see that, how that looks when it's all finished. Can you do cosmetic things with magic? Magic will definitely have a visual effect, but currently all the spells we have a function, so they all do something. There's no spell that just makes a fancy light or a fancy show, but we should probably do something like that, like magic that just makes fireworks or something. Will dragons be able to mate? We don't have plans for that currently. They'll just be able to hatch from eggs that magically appear down in the depths here in Growngard. So there won't be any mating, but it's something that we could look into eventually. Will there be horse-drawn carriages, or like fast travel? There'll definitely be horses, but I don't think we have any plans for fast travel, because that just makes it too easy. A lot of the difficulty in the game is the fact that the map is so huge, and you need food, you need water, to be able to get anywhere. And that's where some of the difficulty comes from, so we're not going to just give you an easy way out for that. Werecats. We're definitely going to add werecats, but you can't tame a werecat. A werecat does what a werecat wants, unless you're Solembum and Angela, and in that case, you just really like each other. But Angela technically didn't tame Solembum. Bandit gangs as hostile mobs. There'll definitely be Urgle gangs roaming the wilderness, especially the Spine, and they'll definitely be able to kill you on sight, or if you provoke them. Maybe not on sight, but if you provoke them in any way, they'll have a bad time. Will creatures like elves be able to change their appearance after making their character with magic? The thing about Minecraft is that, as in, would you be able to change your skin? Is that the question? Because we can't really change the player model. Will using magic have a glowing effect? Yes, magic will have a fancy particle effect. It'll be like white or grey or a mixture of both. And then one of the premium perks that we'll offer is coloured magic. I know some people won't like that, but we have to support the server somehow, so that's what we're going to sell. A cosmetic effect. It'll give your magic some unique look compared to everyone else who just has white magic, so you can feel special. I have seen the Windcraft map, but I haven't compared it to MCAlagaesia yet, and it takes a while to set it up in Paint, so I'll give that a miss for now. Is there some authority system? Can you get put in dungeon for punching people? There's no official authority system. So the server itself, or the game itself, won't punish you for doing anything, but other people might. So if you try and set yourself up as Galbatorix, or if you try and cheat people out of trades, then other people might hear of that and come and take you down. So there's nothing that we will do to stop you, but other people definitely will try. Will there be different armor? Everything in the game is getting retextured. We're going to get a 32x32 resource pack called Faith, and all the blocks will be different, and we'll be adding extra items as well. Will there be backpacks or something similar? I don't think we have that planned at the moment. The thing about backpacks is it would make the game too easy, because you can just carry everything you want. Part of the challenge is figuring out whether you need to carry an extra water bottle, or an extra sword, or an extra piece of food, because you might run out. So the challenge is that there's limited inventory space. Well, that's one of the challenges, of course. Dueling mechanics, as in PvP, it's the same as post 1.8 PvP. Can a dragon accidentally landing on a player kill them? I don't think so. The thing about Minecraft is that, you know, as a game it's kind of glitchy, and that's kind of the appeal of it. So, you know, if you just drop a creeper on me, or probably a bad example because I'd probably die anyway, but if you just drop a villager on me, that kind of Minecraft feel, you know, it just bounces off you. There's nothing there that... I don't know where I'm going with this, but the main idea is that a dragon is a pretty big model, but the hitbox, or what actually affects you, is rather small. So yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right for it to be able to stomp you if it fell on you or accidentally landed on you, because it's something that could very easily happen accidentally. Have you drawn upon Hightail, or will you? No, we haven't drawn upon Hightail. Hightail is a very new game. I actually think it's still in development or something. It'll be something interesting to look at, but we haven't looked at it as a source of inspiration yet. Oh yeah, we were going to check out Deltarad. and then we'll check out the Boar's Eye after that, and then I might have to think about heading off. This is Eldunari, another large town in Serda. Will there be achievements at all? There definitely will be achievements. Let me just bring up a spreadsheet for you. I know everyone loves a good spreadsheet. Alright, I'll just switch you back over to the browser so you can have a look with us. So yeah, we have a lot of ideas for achievements. We have 87 in total now, and yeah, they range from anything from drinking a certain amount of bottles within a certain amount of time, to casting a magic spell for the first time, to killing 193 enemies in a single session, which, as you'll know, Rowan would count that as 200. Yeah, a lot of ideas for achievements, and we're definitely going to expand this list. So this isn't the end. And we'll switch back to Minecraft. Is there a way for people to submit ideas for achievements? Definitely. Check out that Reddit thread. I'll get that back up. I wish I saw your message before I closed it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, if you ever have an idea for an achievement, definitely suggest it in the Discord server, or you can send it on Reddit there, to that Reddit post, and we'll look into it and we'll see if we can add it. I know there is plugins and mods, but are you going to use things like functions? Do things like trigger commands from doing advancements? I don't know if functions is some new vanilla thing, but anything, it seems that anything they can do is something that we can do probably easier and with greater efficiency using a mod or a plugin. Let's have a look at the Boar's Eye, where, I mean, we didn't spend much time at Eldunari. We'll go back there for a bit. Will there or can there be an Arcaena subreddit to keep threads organized? We'll just have an Arcaena forum at arcaena.com. I'd probably prefer to keep everything in one place rather than having a Reddit, a subreddit, and a forum. So if we had anything at all, I'd prefer that it was in-house on the Arcaena forums. Everyone that registers is going to have an Arcane account anyway, because you need an account to play, and with that account come a forum account, so it'll just be an easy one single sign in for everything Arcaena related. Right, no more questions at the moment, so we'll have a look around. How much detail that all the builders are just putting in. Kingstell says, is there going to be a beta test of the server before it is released sometime in the future? Yes, we do have alpha testing that is currently open to premium players by so all premium players can join this testing server here. Currently there's nothing to test on this testing server except for being able to explore the map, but we will be giving premium players early access to the launcher, to the website. They'll be able to sign up, create an account to test the game with us. Of course, we'll wipe everything before we release it to the public, so no one will have a head start. They'll just be able to play it a bit earlier. Actually, so I'll just show you quickly in the hub here. Alright, so in the hub, here we are. So premium players can join the alpha testing server that I was just on and check out the map, and once we have features to test, they'll be able to test those out as well. Right, back onto the staff building server.
More specifically,
Look, there's 3 people online. It's the most we've ever had. I'm kidding, of course. We used to have, like, I don't know, 30. No, never had 30 people. We had 15 or so before.
15,
Yeah.
especially during team builds.
Sorry, Nick. I had my headphones turn off if I don't have any audio for a long period of time, and I guess no one was speaking, so they turned off. I don't know how long you've been talking for, and I've just been talking over you.
Oh, I figured you were just being rude. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was saying something before, but like yeah, like they would get up to like 15 during team builds and stuff.
Yeah, back in the good old days. Alright, so Exist34 is pretty adamant about coffee in Arcaena. I guess we could work that out. Probably it could have a certain short-term boost to your energy levels. 5 AM there, is it? It's actually 5:46 AM where I am, so that's interesting. And we're going to go check out the bullseye before I say goodbye to you all.
I'll still be streaming.
Well, that's good. Wait, that's not good. I thought you were working. Don't you need sleep?
No, I have coffee. I have tea.
Alright, so this is the bullseye. This is one of my own projects, actually. I built this a long time ago now. Yeah. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. The only issue is, of course, the height limit in Minecraft. You know, in an ideal world, it would be a lot taller. But, we do the best we can do. Down there, that's right. Down at level 3, and then just under there we have bedrock, so not much lower we can go. We've got a crashed ship here. Probably have some interesting loot down there for you to go and explore. Exist34 asks, where is the server hosted from? And Dapali correctly answered France. Yeah, that's correct. What have we been talking about here? Yeah, I'll probably stop soon, unless anyone has any more questions they want to keep me up. Ask some more questions about Arcaena.
Yeah, how did you get the term Arcaena to be the name of the MMO?
That was a discussion with the executive staff, so that's TARDIS crew, myself, as a 007, the developers. We all discussed the new name for the server. It was actually pretty hard to get a name because we wanted something simple, I guess you could say. I'm just wondering if I should open up Slack. Kind of don't really want to be sharing everything we've discussed. Yeah, I'll just do my best to explain it. It's hard to get a domain name for certain terms. Some terms can be a lot more expensive than others. Certain top level domains are a lot more expensive than others. And Arcaena was the default price, which was good, and it was the thanks, Fredo. And it fit really well because we thought, I'll bring up the website for you. Go down to here. The Arcaena are a secret organization dedicated to recording and preserving the secrets of Alagaesia. The sect sends its members out to explore the land and learn about its magic and history. And that's kind of what we're sending you out to do as a player. You get to go out and explore Alagaesia, learn about history, learn magic, and discover the secrets. And that's when we all thought that this name really fit. Sometimes I like to play with these pictures. Okay, I've never done that before, but drag them around, it's interesting. Make the dragon fly. Yeah. Have fun. Look at this website. It's got a lot of information. I've been tweeting it out recently. A lot of the questions actually that have been asked, and some that you haven't even thought about yet, you can read up on it here. Pretty good read. Anyway, let's jump back into the game and finish off with the last few questions. I agree. I don't know if you've seen the new website, the Arcaena website, but hopefully we'll have something more to show before we kind of shove it in his face. Alright. Well, if there's nothing else you wanted to talk about or visit, I think I might sign off here. It's been a lot longer than I intended to stream for. Will there be a custom heads-up display for Arcaena? It'll be pretty much the same as Minecraft. There might be a few extra elements here and there that will help you determine what magic spells you're casting, for example. Or like there might be subtle changes in the textures, but apart from that, it'll be pretty much the same. Fredo asks, in-game, have the races been decided yet, as in how they work? Yeah, we discussed this a bit earlier on in the stream. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects of races, so I can't really just answer it quickly. But we will be able to create a character and choose to be an elf, a dwarf, a human, or an Urgle. And each different race will have certain perks and disadvantages. Even the elves will have some disadvantages. It's going to be hard to balance that. Elves are overpowered in the inheritance cycle. Of course, in a game, that's not what we want. Otherwise, everyone would be an elf. No one would choose any of the other races. So it's going to take a long time to balance, but we're confident we can do that. So it'll be fun. Alright, any final questions before I sign off?
Yes, one please. Will you upload the stream afterwards on YouTube?
I will, yes. I'll just have to connect it together because I did it in 2 separate parts, of course, when I needed to restart my computer. But once that's done, I'll upload it back to the channel and you'll be able to watch it later.
Okay, I will send a thank you from my friends.
That's alright. Glad I could answer some questions, have a chat with all the people who are interested in the game. Yeah, as I said before, there might be some subtle changes to the heads-up display. Just checking out what everyone's working on. How you going, Fredo? Oh, what's this? Orthiad. Lovely.
It's been a while since I've heard that name.
Yeah. It was one of the cities that I started. A long time ago. Gave it up a long time ago as well. Anyway.
Stuff has been done here. Okay.
Oh, you're Orthiad as well? Alright, well, I guess that will be it for us. But don't forget, Nicradical streams on MCAlagaesia a lot more frequently than I do. She's just as knowledgeable as me in most of the aspects of the game, so I'll send you a link to her Twitch channel here and in the Discord server as well. So go join her on her stream. Looks like the Doge admin has... Oops, that's not a link. There we go. Sent the link. Okay. Doge admin has one more question, so we'll just answer that before we sign off. And will staff have an advantage over regular players on the server? Yes, the staff will be able to ban you. Apart from that,
Will actually be able to do that?
depends what kind of staff you are. Builders and terraformers are able to build in Terraform, but they can't ban people. Moderators can ban people, but they can't build or terraform. It depends where your skills lie. So, but in terms of gameplay, staff are just going to have all the premium perks. So they won't give you any advantages over regular players, but they'll just be able to have coloured magic. They'll have all the premium perks. basically. So they're the same perks that you'll be able to get if you want to support Arcaena, because what they have done through the years is support Arcaena and MCAlagaesia by helping us complete this project. So we'd like to give something back to them for all the work that they've done for us.
I have a follow-up question.
Follow-up question.
So if the staff are going to be, so like you said, the builders and terraformers wouldn't have access to banning people, but the moderators wouldn't have access to building things.
Yes.
Will that be, because we're not going to be able to build on the actual map when it's live, it'll be a different kind of back-end version of it.
We'll still have MCAlagaesia, and then we'll have Arcaena as well. So if you want to help build, like if you wanted to update a city or something, you jump on MCAlagaesia and build on the MCAlagaesia map. And then if you wanted to go play on Arcaena, you'd run the Arcaena launcher and jump into the game from there. So yeah, they'll be separate servers.
Okay. So then that way it would be different. So we would, instead of being staff, we would just be premium players on there, kind of thing.
You would have all the premium perks, but you wouldn't have the premium tag. You'd have a contributor tag.
Okay.
So it's a special tag that no one but staff get. So, yeah. And AOWork has one last question in the game as well. Build question: does the super item plugin work? Super item plugin? Not sure what that is. Any explanation? Oh, binding a command to a block. Like a power tool. I don't believe so. But if you just want it for world edit, you can use a brush. Yeah, world edit works fine with brushes. Alright, well, that ended up being a lot longer than I originally intended. So I'm going to sign off now. But thanks for everyone for joining me on the stream. Thanks for asking all these excellent questions. And I hope you learnt something as well, and I hope you're all excited for Arcaena. Alright. See you later. Might do streams more often now, since this one was pretty successful. See you later.